America. Has anyone noticed the amount of beatdowns going down lately? It's been relentless this week. If you keep track of these things, lucky for you, unfortunately for the White House, we do. It's the Chicago way. If you don't know what that is, let me show you a scene from The Untouchables.
You see what I'm saying? What are you prepared to do? Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
That's the Chicago way. Now we have it in Washington. That's the Washington way. Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama, two lovers sitting in a tree. B-E-A-T-I-N-G. What is it that Barack Obama promised on the campaign trail? Oh, yeah, that's right, I remember. A new kind of politics. Well, America didn't think the new politics would be even worse than the old politics, but here's what the new politics is. You don't agree with the administration? Well, I tell you what, you know what I'm saying? You want to stand in the way of reform? No longer is it a gentleman's disagreement that can be debated. No, no, no. No, you're going to play ball, or you're going to get a beat down. Some of the people that found out just this week, Chamber of Commerce, they found out firsthand. White House didn't seem to have a problem with the Chamber of Commerce. Oh, no, no, no. When they were on board for the bailouts, or the takeover of GM, and of course the stimulus package, I think you want to play ball, you know what I'm saying? Obama even whispered sweet, I love small businesses in their ear.
Over the past decade and a half, America's small businesses have created 65% of all new jobs in the country. And more than half of all Americans working in the private sector are either employed by a small business or own one. More than half. So these companies are the engine of job growth in America. They fuel our prosperity.
Yeah.
And that's why they have to be at the forefront of our recovery.
They're the engine of our prosperity. Why are we giving all the money to the tailpipe of our prosperity? America can't live without them. He loves them. And he loves the Chamber, who represents 3 million businesses. 95% are small businesses. But when the Chamber comes out against the disastrous climate change cap and trade bill, and then they had the unmitigated gall to, you coming out against universal health care, you know what I'm saying here, huh? Well, the president got out his bat.
They're very good at this, because that's how business has been done in Washington for a very long time. In fact, over the last 10 years, the Chamber alone spent nearly $500 million on lobbying. $500 million.
Wow. I thought he loved small businesses. Well, he does, until they stop playing for the team.
A man stands alone at a plate. But in the field, what? Part of a team.
Teamwork. Teamwork.
I get nowhere unless the team wins.
Team.
This administration they're not whacking anybody, but they're using a baseball bat. It's the full force and power of the presidency of the United States. You're sitting around that table. Chamber of Commerce, they sat around that table for a while. Insurance industry, Cray Deeds, Humana, doctors, small businesses. You can all sit around the table like those people did. And then you can say, which one's going to get whacked? You can sit there and you can live in fear. Or you can stand up and say, enough of your bat. Now, I warn you, that means that some people are going to get whacked. You got to take a stand. Even though you know, in the end, you pull out a knife and they're going to pull out a gun. The question we have to ask ourselves, what is it we truly believe in? What do we believe in? Who are we? Are we the guy who sits around the table in fear? Are we the guy who stands up and says, hey, the hell are we all doing? He's one guy. There's more of us than there is of him. But I warn you, you have to ask yourself, if you stand up, what are you willing to do? Sure, you might get whacked, but let me tell you something. You spend too much time in bed with the mob, you spend too much time at that table, you're going to get whacked eventually anyway.